And welcome back, everybody. Here you can see that we're in the Boeing 747-8. But this video has to do with being part of a virtual airline, and I am a member of a UPS virtual airline, which is, according to them, they are the oldest airline registered with VATSIM. They've been partnering with VATSIM for over 20 years. And they are a great group of people. And the flight planning that they provide you and all that is very, very good. And they provide real, real time and real world routes and fleet. And this is still November 608, November 608, Uniform Papa, which is one of the aircraft that I fly. I fly about once a month with these people, and or sometimes twice. And I typically fly just within North America, but I have taken this thing out to its limit, which is Louisville nonstop to Dubai, and that is about 16, 16 hours and 45 minutes. But let's hop on the flight deck and see what I've got everything set up. And hopefully we're gonna get the ATIS information a from the latest individual who supposedly utilized our own voice to generate it. And then we're gonna have to talk to ground control and make sure that we're gonna be utilizing runway 17 right for departure. And if we look down here on our FMC, we've got the Heidi 1 departure, Ramrod transition, and then on the BNA, which is Nashville, Tennessee, then through Noob, and then on the back end of that, we're going to be inputting the Tripper 1 arrival into Atlanta, which we're going to do that right now before we give ATC a call. So let's just do that real quick. And that is the Tripper 1, and when the winds in Atlanta are out of the west, so we're going to be wanting runway, double check here. We definitely do want 26 right. Let's just double check that real quick. Because the ATC in Atlanta, they are very, very particular with northbound flights coming inbound. I'm just pulling that up real quick. Yep, 26 right is what we want. Very, very good. All right, 26 right. So 26 Bravo, Tripper 26 Bravo is what we're gonna want. And we are going to be utilizing the Matthew transition as already stated. And ILS 26 right, that's fine with me. And we can use the, let's see here, what do they want us to do? Let's just look at this real quick. We could do this part of it en route, but I do want to show you all some things in the aircraft itself. And if I'm going to be doing that and this at the same time, well, I can't do it. So let's look at, I'm just looking at ILS 26 right. It's a PRM, which in reality, if they were to assign the PRM, I would have to be monitoring two frequencies at one time, because if they're going to be doing simultaneous arrivals into Atlanta, 26 right, 26 left, the two runways are so close to each other, there's no other way to do it, so you have to monitor the tower frequency for 26 right and the other frequency for 26 left. And that is the joys of doing a PRM approach. Where is it here? If you're a subscriber to my Patreon account, I show you how to do these flights in North America without having to spend money on a monthly Navigraph subscription. They provide a wonderful service, but you do not need to update your Navigraph databases every month. I haven't updated mine in probably 7 or 8 months, and everything is up to date in all my databases in both sims and in all my add-ons here. Here we go, 26 right. Just looking for checking what transition we're gonna need. The Zelo transition more than likely, but they may cut us in short, so for now, I'll just say the Zelo transition, execute that, go back into the lakes page, make sure everybody's good to go. We don't have any discontinuities. At the end of it, vectors, that is normal. Zelo, we're going to need to come in at way, way slower than that. That's just coming at 200, and everything else below that should adopt a 200 knot minimum. I should say 200 knot maximum, and it did. Very, very good. The other fun thing about flying this aircraft, even though it's not, I know it's not on the lake, it's not on the cutting edge of simulation, which is Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and or 2024. This is, however, the PMDG 747-8, and it's the only one in the Microsoft Flight Sim world that works like it really should. So that's why I utilize it. And since it is utilizing an older sim, we don't have the system resource strain on the computer, even though I don't notice any system resource strain on my computer in the first place, utilizing Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. With this sim, everything just works. There's no updates to wait on like in 2024. Everything just works, and it's a wonderful thing. So we do have wind data to look at. It actually was already sent just before I brought you guys on board. Execute that, and our descent forecast is also ready, which is why it's very, if you can, and again, I only did it, the reason I was able to do it is I inputted the arrival information into the flight computer because we're so close. Louisville to Atlanta, it's not even 1 hour, so unless they make you slow down just a little bit, which they might if they're busy, and we'll just have to see. But anyway, so the forecast, to go to the forecast for the arrival into Atlanta, go to VNav, and we go to the destination page, forecast, and we get rid of the message, load. On the bottom left, the lower left line, select key, load, sit back and watch, and there it is. So now, if I go to progress, estimating 37,800 pounds of fuel into Atlanta, that is as accurate of a number that you're going to get. If you do longer flights, which I have done for this virtual airline, and by the way, I'm going to put their website in the comment box, in the info below the video here, and you guys can check them out. Again, they're they try to be as realistic as possible. You get emails from them, from the station manager, as well as the CEO. So for those of you out there who are young, not like me, but young, maybe you're a teenager and you're wanting to be a line pilot at a carrier, and you're thinking, freight or passenger, well, if I would have been able to do it, I would have gone with freight myself. But anyway, let's check out the ATIS frequency. Now that we know everything in the box is good to go, let's check out what is our V speed one more time. 159 is that. For approach, we need to look at our takeoff actually. Yeah, 159 is our safety speed, so 159 goes into our speed here on the autopilot, aka MCP. And this approach has a ceiling of 13,000 feet. I'm sorry, approach. The departure has a ceiling of 13,000. However, if we look down our lakes page, here's what we get. Each individual fix has a specific altitude assigned to it. And I'm just going over this for those of you that might not have flown on VATSIM, because if you do fly on VATSIM, they will hold you to whatever departure you fly. Well, what you do is, I don't do any of the work. With this virtual airline, you can, from their own website, they will file the flight plan with VATSIM for you. You don't do anything. You click on File VATSIM, pre-file it. All you gotta do is look over the form, make sure everything looks good, click on File, and it does it for you. So I don't do any of the work. It's like having an AI dispatcher, which is very, very nice. I've been asked to be part in other virtual airlines, because some people do get to know me, and I tried them out a couple of times, and I always say, no, nobody is as professional as UPS VAC. And again, I'll give their website URL in the description below. Alright, let's just double check that this does look good. Easy to Woody, then merged and Heidi. Let's just double check that real quick. Let's see here, coming out 17 right, easy to Woody to top out to 13,000. And yep, just making sure that we've got this. Okay, very good. Alright, so I'm going to act as if you all are my first officer. Take off runway 17 right, we're going to climb on heading at 170 to intersect course 185 to easy, then on track to 157, and then on to Whiskey Whiskey Oscar Delta Yankee, then on track 175 degrees to Mike Echo Romeo Juliet Sierra, then on track 249 degrees to Heidi Hotel India Delta Echo Yankee, thence, and then after that, and then on to whatever the transition is. In this case, it's the navigational fixer Ramrod, which is Romeo Alpha Mike Romeo Delta. Ramrod, and maintain 13,000. Expect all altitude 10 minutes after departure. So hopefully that is what the ground controller is going to be giving us. Is the ground controller still online? It's showing. Yes. There it is. Yeah, okay, so 1872. So let's go ahead and pick up the ATIS. Make sure we got the right altimeter plugged in. 1872.
Approach is in use. Runway 17 right arrival. 29er, 11 NFC Sensi. Available only for operation necessity. Small departures in use. Notices to air missions increase bird activity in the vicinity of the airport. UPS ramp control closed. Taxiway Bravo closed between Taxiway Bravo 4 and Taxiway Bravo 5. Taxiway Bravo 4 between B and UPS ramp having non-movement area. Glide slope runway 35 left out of service. Hazardous weather information for Kentucky and Indiana available FMR flight service stations. Advise on initial contact. You have information Foxtrot.
Alright, so we've got Foxtrot. Hopefully we're going to get away with avoiding those various obstacles on the ground due to construction. Because we don't have the scenery with FSX as we would do in 2024. So hopefully we can just get a straight out. And let's zoom in a little bit more on our map here. Straight on Taxiway Bravo, and hopefully we don't have to go around things, because that takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? At least it does for me. Alright, let's see here. 21.7. Hopefully they have the flight plan. Let's see if they do. I got a feeling that they're gonna want to give us some kind of an amendment. I just got a feeling about that. Louisville ground UPS 160 heavy.
Last aircraft calling Louisville ground, say again?
This is UPS 116 heavy.
Yes, 116 heavy, Louisville ground, go ahead.
Yeah, Louisville ground UPS 116 heavy requesting clearance on down to Atlanta as filed, please.
UPS 116 heavy, I don't see a flight plan on file for you. If you could try to refile for me, please.
Alright, give us a minute. Huh. Nothing else.
American
Alright.
2977, our time is short, but eventful. You can contact Indy Center now, 128.225. Left out here, short 17 right down here.
We gotta redo the whole thing, isn't that great?
Short but sweet. Thank you for all the help on the patient.
Here's what we're gonna do. I don't want you guys to sit back and bored looking at the flight deck here. I'm gonna give you we'll give you this view here, and you'll be able to see anybody taking off. There's somebody getting ready to take off in the distance there. So while I'm busy redoing everything here, okay. And we gotta go into our flight plan here. Sorry about this, but welcome to live recording. All right, current bookings is what we want. That is right. Schedule briefing. This is where the pre-file with VATSIM comes in unbelievably handy. Alright. Make sure that we're gonna make sure that the route lines up with what we have filed. And it does. Call sign UPS 116. Heavy flight time 1919 UTC is good. Fuel endurance en route time 54 minutes. Alternate is BNA I-81. Turn to 2. And what time do they want us off block? Fine, that's fine. We should have gotten it.
Just 116 Heavy, just got your clearance, so I'll get a PDC out to you in just a moment.
Roger, 116 Heavy. There we go, they got it. The PDC, for those people that don't know what PDC is, that is a pre-departure clearance, and that is really, really nice. You don't have to do what I was trained to do, and that is write down a clearance on a piece of paper, where they read your clearance, and that very, very loud noise didn't exist. It's awful loud.
Just 116 PDC sent. Let me know if you didn't receive it.
We just received it. 116 Heavy, thank you.
Perfect.
Alright. Unfortunately, you guys cannot see it. I'll just read it for you here. Departure KSCF Louisville, destination Atlanta, route, as we've already talked about, altitude 380. Alright, let's see if we can do that or not. That is not, we filed for 32, not 38. Let's see if we can do it here. We can. We will, we'll amend that when we get up into the air. We'll see what the airplane can do. Because we are a little heavy. That's the one thing about doing it the new way. You can't just do it real quick. You gotta open up a website and fill out the info. 380 squawk 4051. Okay. 4051. Alright. 4051 is in the box. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Which I do believe, if it works right, we should be squawking Mo Charlie, which we are. Alright, make sure we got 17D here because that is what the departure plate calls for. And Louisville ground, UPS 116 Heavy, we receive EC. Would you like for us to call you for push and start, or do we have to, are we free to do so?
Just 116 Heavy, push and start's your discretion. Just give me a call when you're ready for taxi, and the information Foxtrot is current.
Right, there we go, Foxtrot, and just be aware that we're flying on FSX, so our scenery is a little outdated.
Do you have taxiway, Charlie?
We, according to my database, we do, but I'll let you know once we get out there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I hope there's no bridges. There may have been in your scenery. Boom, zinger. We'll do a progressive taxi with you, and I'll just, if you don't have a taxiway, we can figure it out.
Okay, thank you for the, thank you for that much. Greatly appreciate it. UPS 116 Heavy.
No problem.
Okay, see that? Nice to have a nice person to talk to. 'Cause sometimes they can be interesting to deal with. You never know. Alrighty, we are clear to push and start. We've really got whoever that is. Okay.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just sorting my life out.
You're fine.
Yeah, there's people from all over the world with this virtual airline, and that's what makes it all the more fun. And it keeps you sharp because you're on VATSIM and you're making sure you're doing everything you should. Checklist is as real as it can possibly get for training for entertainment purposes. And let's get our pushback over here set up real quick. On the right FMC, pushback is, we're 90 degree. And the tail's going to go to our right. And we're going to be as short of a push as possible. And remove the shocks. And they are utilizing smart cars, the latest in the biz.
Stand low, American 3236, approaching Mike, ready for taxi, one for the right.
American 3236. Louisville ground, forgot where it was at there for a second. Runway 17 right, taxi via Mike, Lima, Golf, Bravo.
Mike, Lima, Golf, Bravo, one for the right, American 3236.
Or your brakes are off. All right. Let's do engines 3 and 4. Turn off banks 2 and 3. And we can spool up 3 and 4. And we'll do an automatic, an automated start. Auto start. What does that mean? That means we get to look down here. And as you can see above on the MFD above N2, you see it says auto start for both right engines. And we're also watching the EGT for on start. There you go, there's fuel being introduced into the system. Alright. Take a quick look outside to make sure everybody's out of the way.
American 3236, I got an updated departure frequency for you. It's also going to be who you switch to when you get on the runway. Just let me know when you're ready to copy.
Yeah, shoot.
New departure frequency is 128.225. That's Indy Center.
Okay, Indy 28225, thanks.
That's good now. 22. 2022, I believe. I had to do
American
that.
3236, go ahead and contact Indy Center now, 128.225. Let them know you're holding short 17 right down at Louisville. Have a good flight.
28225 will do, and you've been great, thanks. American 2225, see ya.
Oh, you've been greater.
And we're running there.
Aw.
Web engines 1 and 2. Taxi lights come on, and that's fine. And then we'll do logo lights. That's fine. Alright, auto start should be happening right now. There we go. There is the light off right there. And just like before, it should
Indiana American
around
2225.
420, something like that. It is hot, 27 Celsius, that's about what, 84, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the people that can be a little interesting are the people that operate the various TRACONs. So in this case, it'll be Indy Center. And when I say interesting, I mean sometimes they interpret a chart differently than us guys that fly the actual aircraft. So just a heads up in that arena. Okay, we got all 4 engines up and running here. And flaps to 20. There we go. Let's finish out the checklist. Okay, before taxi, anti-ice, not require recall. Check. Flight controls. Alright. All the way to the left. Good. All the way to the right. Good. And all 4 elevators. All the way up. Good. All the way down. Good. Rudder. All the way to the right. Neutral. All the way to the left. And neutral. Very good. Flight controls are good. Checklist. Flight controls are good and ground equipment is clear. And our before takeoff checklist is also clear. Very good.
Ground, very good. Evening, American 1326, approaching Mike and information Fox request taxi.
And we can turn off the AC view here.
There's Button, American 1326, Louisville ground. Thanks for Foxtrot, runway 17 right. Taxi via Lima, Golf, Bravo.
Thank you. 17 right, Lima, Golf, and Bravo, American 1326.
Alright, now this will be interesting to see how this guy handles a progressive taxi. And Louisville ground UPS 160 Heavy is ready for that progressive taxi.
UPS 116 Heavy, you have information Foxtrot?
We do, Foxtrot, and yep, we have all that information poured into our FMC. We got it.
Alright, UPS 116 Heavy, runway 17 right, taxi straight ahead. The first taxiway on the far right is going to be Charlie, and go north on Charlie. Hold short 29er at Charlie.
Right, we'll take Charlie and we'll short of 29 there, Charlie. UPS 116 Heavy.
American 1326, sorry, I meant to give this before I got you rolling. I got a new departure frequency for you. Just let me know when you're ready to copy it.
That's what
Hey, yeah, ready to copy, American 1326.
they always change frequencies on you.
You say you're ready to copy?
With regard to Indy
Hey,
Center. I don't know
Sorry.
why, but that
It's going to be Indy Center. It's 128.225.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Departure frequency 128225, American 1326.
Okay, just gonna arm LNAV here.
American 3236, you still with me?
I can definitely see him. Alright. It's very, very difficult to find a sweet spot with the throttle because you punch them up just a little bit, then the aircraft wants to accelerate. In real life, it's a little easier to find that little sweet spot. These SciTech controllers that don't have, the throttle just isn't as smooth. There we go. Now we're slowing down again. I don't know why runway 29 would be active, but it is what it is. Isn't it nice to deal with ATC with a real person versus what you got in Microsoft License 2024 when you're in career mode, which I've tried, And career mode gives you all that bizarre ATC that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't know how to read a proper altimeter setting, and there's a lot of other things that it doesn't do right. So, dealing with VATSIM, as I said before in other videos, as soon as they release the second update to 2024, then I will give it a shot on and let me
American 32-30-60 with ground still.
Why is it changing back? 1 second.
Okay. I'll let him know.
Anyway, as I was saying, the career mode ATC, for those of you that do it on MSFS 2024, that is not how it works. And if you do want to know how it works, you can just sit here and listen to us communicate with each other. Proper altimeter readings and all that good stuff. Alright, holding short.
PS1, 16 heavy, continue taxi across 29er at Charlie. Make the next left, that'll be Golf. And then the next right, Bravo, that's paralleling 17 right.
Right that. Cross runway 29, and then left on Golf, right on the Bravo, UPS 116 heavy. Alright. Always keep in mind that you gotta make all your turns late in the game, so to speak, because you do have, the longest flying commercial airliner in the world behind you. It is 1 meter longer than the Airbus A380. So, and if you just look at it, you go, you know what? Yeah, that's that's big. Alright, let's off scale traffic. Yeah, we got that. Alright, let's turn on the lights here. And strobes. Alright, we need to increase our range on the nav display. Looks like an airplane coming in. Yeah, we can go.
CS 116 heavy, I hope that wasn't too bad. Go ahead and contact tower now, 124.2, have a good flight.
No, not bad at all. Over to 24-2, UPS 116 heavy.
Yep.
Alright, 24-2. And Louisville Tower, UPS 116 heavy with the holding short runway 17 right.
UPS 116 heavy, Louisville Tower, good evening. Winds 17008, gust 19, RNAV easy, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 17 right, UPS 116 heavy. Alright. Alright. There we go. Line up nice and nice and easy here. And Toga. Thrust Ref, Venus. Toga. Good. Gear up, please. And they're gonna want us on the RNF here, so
UPS 855 Heavy, exit right when able. Contact ground 121.7. Have a good one.
We're exiting right at Delta 2, I believe it is, and we are vacated the runway.
And UPS 855, Roger. Switch to ground 121.7.
For ground 121.7, thank you.
UPS 116 Heavy, contact Indy Center 128.22. See ya.
2022 UPS 116 Heavy. Thank you.
Indy Tower, Malicious 1, visual approach 17 left.
Malicious 1, Indy Tower, or Louisville Tower, good evening, winds 17008, gust 19, runway.
Indy Blue November, question rate, speed
Lieutenant, clear direct BDOC.
direct speed
Indy Center UPS 116 Heavy with you 4,300. And we're en route to EC.
UPS 116, Indy Center, radar contact, climb and maintain level 370. That will be your final altitude.
1950-370 UPS 116 Heavy. Alright. 370, that's a little odd. We'll look into that here in a second. And we got that dialed in.
Indianapolis Center, Southwest 19,
Flaps up.
flight level 350, inbound to
Let's do a flight level change here.
That was 1922, Indy Center. I don't have you on radar at all. I'll call you when you get closer.
Affirmative 1923.
Indy Center, good afternoon. Delta 1206 entering airspace from the south, LP 60 inbound India uniform.
Delta 1206, Indy Center, ident.
Let's go through entry checklist. We're just waiting for the flaps, and then we'll be done with that checklist. And we are good. Next, that's our descent checklist. I'll go through the other screens as soon as we get handed off here and or leveled at
Indianapolis Center area on 363, holding short runway 18 left, ready for departure.
At 653, the winds are 150 at 9er. RNAV 2 last thing, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
150 at 9er, quick takeoff, 18 left, 363.
Delta 1206, radar contact 10 miles south of the Livingston VOR.
Roger, thanks.
Let's go ahead and get this up. Yeah, weather radar is on because you never know when a little pop-up thunderstorm is going to happen in this neck of the woods. 10,000 feet. Alright. Landing lights all off. And everything else.
UPS 116, Glitterick, Nashville, Bravo, November Alpha.
Bravo, November, Alpha. Okay, Bravo, direct to Bravo. Bravo, November Alpha, BNA, UPS 116 Heavy.
American 3236,
All
reach
right.
cycle transponder, squawk
That was
6654.
BNA to right, and go.
6654, American 3236.
Very nice shortcut. Yeah, we can go back to VNAP now. We're about 10,000 feet.
Delta 1206, clear direct Vinny.
Fly as fast as the FMC deems
Direct
necessary.
Vinny, Delta 1206.
United 326, clear direct Grote.
Clear direct Grote for United 326.
And we've got traffic to our 11 o'clock. 2,500 feet above. See if we can see him or not.
And remember, 6 Lima Alpha, descend and maintain 10,000.
I don't see him.
And remember, 6 Lima Alpha, expect, let's go with the visual approach runway 17 left.
And we'll expect visual 17 left.
And remember, 6 Lima Alpha, depart the Louisville VOR, heading tree 50, that'll be vectors for the approach.
We're departing Louisville V1.
Well,
Where's the Louisville V1?
I don't see him.
Louisville VOR is India uniform.
Indian uniform, departing that V1, heading 35.
Alright. The only reason I'm looking
United
out
663, radar contact the altitude.
is because at this range, they may ask us to give a visual identification if we can. At the moment, I cannot.
United 663, climb and maintain a flyable tree 40.
I'm maintaining 340 then 6.
Alright. Well. Let's see if we can pick up on the air traffic. Is that him? Nope. Is this guy? No, not that guy. What about this guy? No, must be the Learjet. There we are. And we are technically right off the tail. But anyway, back inside the cockpit we go. Alright. Let's get that map out there to 80 nautical miles again. We're not going to be up by level 370 for that long. So what I'm going to do, I don't know why the camera continues to do that. What I'm going to do, Optimum 36, yeah. Let's request, and Indy Center UPS 116 Heavy.
UPS 168, Indy Center.
UPS 116 Heavy is requesting a change in cruise altitude, requesting flight level 350.
UPS 116, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and level 350, thank you much, UPS 116 Heavy. Alright.
American 3236, Memphis is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
All you Airbus drivers out there, I like that. It's just that easy.
Over
Punch
to
in
Uniform
350, and you dial that down to 350 around the MCP, and you're done. Alright, we're above 18,000 feet. And the only reason I mention that is long time family friend is a captain at JetBlue and he flies 320s and 321. So, Kurt, you know, I've always got to give you a,
1922,
something. I've got to give you something.
Southwest 1922, squawk.
Those Boeing drivers is different, very, very different. It's a lot to me. It's just a lot easier to fly a Boeing than Airbus, but that's just me.
Flight level D50.
That's just my opinion.
1922, I didn't ask for a position. I just needed an ident button on your transponder.
Okie dokie. I guess that guy's a
Delta
little
1604, Atlanta is closed. Radar service terminated. Freezing to change approved.
Really, Atlanta.
Thank you for that great ATC. Delta 1604.
That's interesting. Atlanta is almost always online. Okay.
Southwest 1922, radar contact 16 miles west of the Adder's Vortex. Descend via the Colts to arrival. Runway 23 left. The Indianapolis altimeter 2971.
We need this on here. There we go. What I always like to do is I like to have my progress page number 1. For those of you watching on a mobile device, let me zoom in here.
Southwest 1922, descend via the Colts to arrival. Runway 23 left. The Indy altimeter 2971.
Might not be able to hear me within talking.
Can you repeat that? Southwest 1922.
Southwest 1922, descend via the Colts to arrival. Runway 23 left. The Indianapolis altimeter 2971.
Affirmative. Colt 2, arrival into...
Alright, maybe you can hear me now. That's all over with. We're going to be up into...
EPS 116, Memphis is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Right that over to 1 to 2.8. Thank you for the services. UPS 116 heavy. Hey, 1228. Go. Alright. It'll be quiet now. So, as I was saying, I always like to have my progress page 1 on the left FMC, which as you can see there, says we're going to BNA, and distance to go will be there in 67 nautical miles, 66 nautical miles, and on the right FMC I have the second progress page, so I can always quickly glance over there, and I can just really quickly check what the headwind component is, and the crosswind component, and just keep an eye on how much fuel each engine has burned. Right now each engine has burned 4,100 pounds. So you do the math, we've already burned 16,400 pounds already. So, yeah, it's, but believe it or not, it is way more efficient than the 747-400. And again, this is a PNDG 747-8. It is the most realistic 747 in the simulator space, unless you've got prepared. I don't know how you could compare it to anything else. In particular, the 747s that come with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Every switch, every button, every knob, every light, every checklist, whether it be normal or a non-normal checklist, everything works. We can get rid of the airports here. The reason I have the airports turned on is so when you're on the ground taxiing, you can see what taxiway you're on and what cargo stand you're at. Let's see what it's looking like out there as the sun's beginning to go down slightly. They're beginning to make contrails a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. 747-8, the queen of the skies. And yep, my favorite airplane to fly is right there. There she is. Alright, we do have a little bit of traffic on our right. More like 2 o'clock, but we're going to be above him momentarily. He is 1,200 feet above us. Not for long. And we'll be on our way as soon as we make a turn over Nashville, Tennessee, which is BNA, which is our next fix. We will begin to review our arrival data. For some odd reason, the VATSIM computers and the along with the flight management FMC flight management computers, they're giving the go-ahead for the engines to burn just over 100% on N1. I've never seen that before. It always derates it back to the low 90s. The only reason I could guess why it's running so hot is because of the temperature. What is the temperature out there? It's not that warm. Minus 49 C. Alright. Let's look at the weather in Atlanta. Alright. Wind is 2107, 10 statute miles, and clouds scattered 17,000, broken at 20,000. Temperature 28 C, 16 on the dew point, so it's a balmy 28 degrees C, 2984 on the altimeter. Alright. Alright. So the runway that we have pre-programmed into the FMC should be the right runway, even though Atlanta Center is offline. Although he said Memphis Center was offline, and if Atlanta Center is offline at this time of the day, I would be very, very surprised. I'd be extremely surprised if they did. Alright, leveling off at Mach 0.845, which is fine with me. And our engine, let me look at how much we're burning an hour with that. 5,200 pounds an hour per engine. Alright. Let's just go through the various systems very quickly. Electrical system. Everybody is good. Every bus is feeding off the right their own engine. That's a little warm for me. 24 Celsius. We're gonna cool down the flight deck here just a little bit. If I could see the dial. Let's zoom in here. Let's see if that gave us, there we go, 21 Celsius, excuse me, 21 degrees Celsius. That is better, and you'll see how quickly it'll cool us down. It's already down to 23. So in other words, the 21, the small number in purple, magenta, is what we want, and the white numbers are what we have. And as you can see, it cools down pretty quickly. So it's gone from 24 to 22 degrees in about 30 seconds. And it'll take another 30 seconds or so to settle in at 21. Alright, that's good. And the pressurization system is also working well. There's our big turn over Nashville. Let's see if we can see Nashville from the outside real quick. There's the Cumberland River. I'll be flying down to Nashville. In the real world, I've got to go down there at the end of this month. Again. Alright. There is the mighty Cumberland River. Alright. Okay, next is going to be our flight. We know our hydraulics. Make sure that everybody's good to go. Yep, the engines are powering their appropriate hydraulics. Looks good. Doors, of course, everything is closed. Landing gear, we get a look at what the PSI is per individual tire, as well as what the brake temps are. And brake temps 0.0, so no brake heat to be concerned about. We will be looking at this after we land in Atlanta, because when you're this heavy, I'll switch this. This is going to be Atlanta Center. I guarantee it. Auto ATC. What is this all about? Welcome. If ATC is offline, you may receive automated guidance assist, online control. After receiving instructions, resume on navigation. Auto ATC does not offer separation. Memphis Center advises that we descend and maintain flight level 330. Really? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at the traffic load here going into Atlanta. Let me just see why they would be doing that. Back to checklist. Let me just quickly look up the traffic flow into Atlanta here. And Atlanta Center is offline, which is interesting. They're never offline. Well, I'm not going to say never, but it's very rare for them to be offline. Because we don't have long to go. Huh. Alright, let's look at our arrival. Shipper 1, we need to be landing to the east. No, we're not. We're landing to the west. We're going to be at 13,000 feet. We need to be at KV is the most important point of the whole thing. Alright, got it. Oops. Alright, we have a message here. Recent MCP altitude. Okay, we are going to be going down. Let's look at our lake space real quick. How far down are we going to be going here? We are going to go down to at least 13 and beyond that. Zero, and we're going to slow that up. Alright, 5,000. Nice thing about Boeing aircraft, sorry about that, gotta do it. Nice thing about Boeing airplanes, we can just set our, we can dial the autopilot, aka MCP panel, all the way down to whatever we want. In this case, like 5,000 feet. As long as that's in there, we can do whatever we need to do via this page right here. All we gotta do is punch in the proper speed and altitude, and the VNAV and LNAV will take care of it. We don't need to do anything else up here. In other words, like in an Airbus, what you have to do is dial in your altitude, and then when you're ready to descend, you gotta push a button and all that kind of stuff. Well, with this aircraft being Boeing, you don't have to. What you do is same thing with your speed, and let's get this lined up to where we are here. Same thing with our speed. We don't have to do anything. as long as we've got LNAV and VNAV on, which we do, we control everything from right here, and it's very, very simple. If it needs assistance, it lets us know, and when I say assistance, I mean slowing down. It'll say drag required, which Airbuses do as well. But I guess for me, Boeing is just a little easier because it just does what you have pre-programmed it to do without any more human intervention, which is very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead and just set our auto brakes now to get that out of the way. Let's do auto brake 26 right is 8,500, I think. Let me look real quick. Yeah, 8,500 feet. So, yeah, 8,500 feet. So we're gonna do, and that's also not the only reason you set a higher setting on the auto brake. If you're a passenger airliner, the auto brake setting also has to do with how long are you going to be at the gate, and here's why that's important. If you're going to be at the gate, the brakes do need a natural cooling time, and especially if you're the flight crew, and you're going to be flying the next leg on the exact same aircraft, you want that cooling time to be less, not more. So what we do is we think about that, but since this is going to be the last flight for this aircraft over the next, let's see, what are we at here, UTC time-wise? Losing my voice, I apologize. UTC here is, almost 00. So it's going to be on the ground in Atlanta for maybe 4 hours, 5 hours at the most, and it'll go back to Louisville because somebody else has reserved this tail number. Welcome to UPS VAC. So based on that, we're going to do auto brakes 3, and we're going to go through our well, let's look at what the winds are. Because something tells me that the winds have been updated. I gotta say, when you looking up wind data and ATIS information, METAR data technically, having this versus MSFS 2024, for whatever it's worth, my opinion, this is simply easier. I have 2 buttons, and I'm looking at my arrival airport without having to punch on something that's floating up in the upper edge of the monitor, such as 2024 does. And get this a little less on the range. Alright, winds are 210 and 7. Alright, we'll do the full flaps with that info. So 157 on the speed, flaps 30. Wind 210 and okay, we already got that on 2984. Alright, 2984, and this will show up in the bottom here. I mean below the oops, went too far, didn't I? As you can see below the altimeter tape on the PFD, you see a number there that says, in white, it says 29.84 inches. Once we get below 18,000 feet, all I have to do is punch the standard button up in the upper right corner. For those of you on a mobile device, you can't see that. Let me get rid of this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, these controls up here, they control what you see on the PFD and the nav display. The STD button, that is short for standard. Once I get below 18,000 feet, all I have to do is punch standard, and then the 2984 goes into where you see STD in green capital letters. Pretty cool, huh? That's all you gotta do. And this backup, the backup ADI here, this altimeter, which as you can see, it is also set to standard, aka 29.92 inches of mercury, or if you're on the metric system, it'd be 1013 hectopascals. In other words, that number right there. This number, I'm sorry, not the number, but the letters capital S, T, D, that will automatically change. I do not have to come back over here and manually hit the center button here for a standard, to switch it over to a specific barometric setting. It will auto sync across my PFD, standby, and the first officer, the FO. It'll sync over to the FO's PFD as well, without us having to push the buttons over there for the FO. And by the way, I missed something. The FO always needs to have his terrain turned on. And for all your airmen and airwomen out there, when you're the pilot flying, in my case, I am, the weather radar is on your navigation display, and the terrain, the EG quiz terrain, that is on the FO side. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. That the weather is on the pilot flying. It's on their side, on their nav display. The pilot monitoring and or being a pilot not flying, the terrain is on their navigation display. There we go, I said it right that time. As you can see, there's just some low, not hills, but I say, well, in that part of America, they do consider it to be a mountain. So that is the reason for the green blotchiness. See, that's the best word that I can possibly think of on the left side of the nav display there. All right. And the flight is just too short for me to go into the performance mode on the EFB. Show landing, we can copy FMC data, and then we would plug in all of our data, and it's just something tells me Atlanta Center or Atlanta Arrival. Somebody in Atlanta ATC is going to come up, pop up online. I just know it. Happens every time. Happens every time. Just when you think you've got the field and everybody else is everyone for themselves, boom, they come up online. So we're not going to worry about that. The FMC does a very good job of giving you your arrival speed, and as you can see, for wind correction, for those of you on a mobile device, let me zoom in for you. If you look right there, you can see our gross weight is 719,700 pounds upon arrival. So yeah, we're a heavy jet this evening. The bottom right is what I want to draw your attention to. Wind correction 5 knots. So that means that our VREF on landing is going to be 157 plus 5. And I've done all the landing manually lately. Let's allow the airplane to land this time. Let's see if it can beat my landings. Let's see if it can do it. I think my landings are averaging 251 feet per minute, something like that. And the only reason I know that number is because Smart Cars keeps track. I'm sorry, the virtual airline, in this case UPS virtual, they keep track of every flight and everything you do. So recall, let's go through the approach checklist. Recall has been done. Notes, we just went over them. Auto brakes are set. Landing data, VREF minimum. The minimums are we haven't set yet. Let's go into standard. Let's look at minimums here. Let me look at the list. I'm sorry, the plate for the runway. Radar 1, really? That's awful low. 170 on the radar altimeter. Okay. 170 on the radar altimeter. If you want to know how to do that, if the 7.4 that comes with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, if that does work, it didn't work the last time I tried it a while back. You simply move, as you can see, there's two knobs in one. The outer knob is the one you move. So you move into radio, and then what you do is this. What did I say? 410? Is that right? I said 170, sorry. Okay, I was looking at the barometric. Radio altimeter. So what you want to do, I can't talk. What you want to do is look at the PFD. So you gotta zoom out a little bit. You want to look at the PFD while you do this. So 170, so you go to the inner knob, and you click on it with your right mouse button, and you drag it up a little bit. And you look for 170, and once it hits that, you release the mouse button, and look right there, radio 170, set. All right, so we can check that off of the checklist. Okay, landing data, we got it, VREF, and minimums are in the box. Approach briefing, we just went over that. With regard to the approach plate, I've looked at it already. Now, if you're a Patreon member, when I do flights like this, I'll go into much more detail. I'll pull up the approach plates, and I'll act as if you're in the right seat with me, and what we'll do is we'll do a shared screen. If you're a Patreon member, we'll pick one per flight. When it comes on to an airline type flight, we'll do a shared screen. And we can act as if you're in the right seat in MSFS 2024, that is. And that's how I can instruct you on whatever aircraft you would like to. In particular, a Boeing aircraft is preferable. The Airbus, I can instruct on Airbus as well. All right, we are good to go with that. Approach briefing is, what is our missed altitude again? If we have to go missed, and Atlanta Center is not online with regard to VATSIM. Kind of represents what's going on in the real world with air traffic shutting down at Atlanta. So, kind of, in a way, kind of simulating what's going on in the real world here, just in an entertainment format. And our go around, we gotta go 1,800 and 4,000. Okay, to DALAS. Okay, that's fine. So 4,000 will be our miss altitude. Okay, descent checklist is complete. Approach altimeters, yep, they're in the box, and we're down the landing checklist already. Very good. And the aircraft has not asked for us to assist it in slowing down. It's been doing a pretty good job of that itself. Yeah, we're flying through, see what the engines look like out there. Not the engine, but the engine view. Yeah, a few bumps here and there. And the radar is picking up a little bit of activity off the nose. Look at that. Just east of our arrival corridor, it is picking up some rain showers. Look at that. But that's moisture at our altitude, and the reason I know that, if you look to the left, and I realize I'm talking a little fast, but there's a lot of things that are going to happen very quickly, very soon. On the left side of the ND here, you can see where it says WX plus T, and below that it says 0A. That means that the A stands for automatic. The 0, that means that the tilt is not there. There's no tilt to the weather radar. It's straight ahead. It's not tilting up or down. 0 degrees means it's flat on the horizon. So right now there is some moisture at 11,000 feet. We'll see if it's still there. Pardon me. We'll see if it's still there once we get closer. And we do have somebody in the vicinity, so we might have to get on the mic and tell everybody who we are and where we are. We'll see. All right. Here we go. Almost at 10,000, so landing lights coming on. And wing lights, it's getting dark. Yeah, we'll go ahead and turn those on. And we'll also go ahead and turn on the light inside the airplane. Not those lights, I meant these first. And then these here. Isn't it nice when everything just works the way that it should? It's a real breather from what's going on with, oh, there's an airplane right there, and he's not on DCAS. And he's flying Class Bravo airspace. Huh. Well, let's help the airplane slow down just a little bit here. Alright, now somebody wants to talk to us, so what I tell you, that's what they do. 3347, alright. 3347.
Delta 1604, land approach.
Delta 1604, land approach. Hello, altimeter 2985. What approach are you set up for?
Set up for.
You cut out.
Alright, we'll let them go.
26 right.
Delta 1604, flighting 250, maintain 18 knots or greater.
180 or better.
Trying to get a word in.
250 heading, and then 18 knots or better.
Atlanta approach, GPS 116 heavy with you at rain. We're all set for 26 right.
GPS 116 heavy on approach rudder, altimeter 2985 to set up maintain 4,000.
Down 4,000, 295 on the altimeter, GPS 116 heavy.
Delta 1604, on that 250 heading, intercept run a 26 right localizer and advise airport in sight.
Alright, Delta 1604, let me.
Atlanta approach, good evening, Southwest 33, 7,200.
Delta 1604, just fly your present heading. Southwest 33 on approach, maintain 6,000, flighting 250 and a sub 26 right localizer.
On approach, maintain 6,000 and intercept the 26 right localizer. Did you give something else?
260 heading.
260 heading, Southwest 33.
And Atlanta approach, GPS 116 heavy, that was 5,000 feet, is that right?
4,000.
4,000 GPS 116 heavy. Alright.
33, you got Delta traffic 11 o'clock, 2 miles southbound, 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah, we see that traffic south of 33.
So 33,
Let's see
right.
what we want to do here. 156 now.
We had to slow down a bunch earlier to make sure we didn't hit him.
That's fine. 210 or better.
210 or better right now, south of 33.
Delta 1604, turn left, left turn heading 310, intercept 1826, right localizer.
Alright, I can tell what we're dealing with here.
Turn left 310, and what localizer am I accepting again?
Delta 1604, make that a 305. 305, intercept at 26, right localizer.
305 for 26 right localizer.
Southwest 33, descend to maintain 4,000, Atlanta Airport, 12 o'clock, 17 miles.
Down to 4,000, we see the airport, south of 33.
So 33, quit visual approach from my 26 right, maintain 210 knots or greater until Bamboo, then 18 knots until AJ.
Yeah, you can see the string of
Roger,
airplanes coming in.
210 knots greater till Bamboo, and then 180 or greater till AJ. Clear visual approach, 26 right, south of 33.
Alright, let's see if we can get down there just a little quicker.
UPS 116, heavy base turn in 8 miles.
Turning base at 8 miles, we'll try to slow it up as best we can. UPS 160 heavy.
If you need more distance, just let me know. But.
Roger. Alright. I knew they would do that. I just.
Delta 1604, speed 180.
Down on 180.
The problem is that they want 4,000. At the same time, they want they want you to get down there as soon as possible. They want you to do slow. Well, guess what? That's a little hard for us to do because we're big, very very big.
UPS 116, heavy turn right heading 180.
Unable to do that. We're flying too fast. We're trying to slow it up. We're gonna need some more distance, please, for UPS 116 heavy.
All right, let me know when you're ready to turn inbound then.
Roger that, UPS 116 heavy. You gotta be kind. That's as kind as I could possibly be. You kind of want to say, hey, I'm really big, and it takes me, I'm not a 737 or A320. Definitely not a Cessna.
Delta 1604, Atlanta Airport, 12 o'clock in 19 miles.
At least this guy is understanding, that's nice.
Alright, you can look out for it, Delta 1604.
Southwest 33, Connect Tower, 109.1.
We're not even to our, not even close to
Sorry,
our,
19-1 for Southwest 33. See it. Thanks for the help.
Let's shallow it up a little bit on the descent rate. As soon as we flaps 1 out, then, which in the 7%-8, all 6 leading edge flaps come out, it does slow us up quite a bit, so we're good to do that right about now.
UPS 116, heavy turn right. Actually, are you ready now?
Not quite. We'll be there in just 1 minute. I'll let you know when we're parallel with Zelo. We should be able to do it at that time.
Roger, just let me know.
Yeah, he's wanting to get us in quickly, and the 747 that weighs over 731,000 gross pounds. A little difficult to do that.
Delta 1604, descend to maintain 4,000.
All right.
Down on 4,000, Delta 1604.
Southwest 33, Connect Tower, 109.1.
Alright, let's give him a call. Atlanta Approach UPS 116 heavy. We can turn inbound Washington.
UPS 116 Heavy, turn right heading 245, intercept localizer.
245, intercept localizer, UPS 116 Heavy. 245 here. Okie dokie. That's
About 1804, airport now, 12 o'clock and 11 miles.
Okay. 245. That's just a little shallow.
Alright, stay on the
Mind,
localizer,
but
that's
alright.
604.
Okay, but do you have the airport 12 o'clock and 10 miles?
Yes, Orlando.
Do that airport in sight.
The Indo lane.
Delta 1604, cleared visual approach, runway 26 right, contact Atlanta Tower, 119.1.
Is armed.
Clear for the visual approach for 26 right, contact Atlanta Tower, 119.1.
Alright. We're set up for that. It seems like you're going very, very slow, but believe me, you're not. It works very, very well, especially when Atlanta is busy right now. Atlanta isn't busy at all, but see, you want us to do 245. Fuel overflow. Okay, that's just because the tanks are beginning to get a little dry. We can turn that one override pump off. We'll get another caution here in just a moment with the opposing fuel pump. As you can see, we're only 20 miles off from the airport, which at the speed of 195, we're
UPS 116 Heavy, just advise when you have the airport in sight.
We'll let you know, UPS 116 Heavy. See, we can get our panel lights on over there. We began talking to him. See if we can get the lights up. There we go. Now we can see everything. Very good. Alright. Here comes a localizer right about there. And the heading on the autopilot will automatically shift to our missed approach current heading, which is the runway, which is heading of the runway itself. There we go, right there. Boom, intercepting localizer. And that's not the airport. That is another aircraft in the distance there. Let me reduce this. Alright. Looking good. Looking very good. And we do not have a field yet. But we'll let him know. And there goes another fuel pump. Yep, I know. Yeah, what I tell you in the opposite wing. The other two will probably come on as soon as we land. Okay, runway is now on the nav display, but it is not up here. And now what do we want? Insufficient fuel? I think not. I think we have plenty of fuel, 31,000 pounds. I think we're just fine. Let's double check. 156 is going to be okay, so 161 is what we'll put in this box up here. And we're going to go ahead and slow her down here to 180 at the moment. Flaps 10, please. Flaps 20. Atlanta approach, UPS 116 Heavy. We have the field in sight.
UPS 116 Heavy, cleared visual approach from my 26 right, contact Atlanta Tower, 119.1.
19.1 and clear for the visual 26 right, UPS 160 heavy.
Atlanta approach, citation 4, Echo Romeo,
119.1.
15,000 for 12.
19.
Thank you. Which represent?
3 north.
Copy. Thank you.
Okay, gear down. Just a second, we'll contact her in just a moment here.
If you look on the ZTL website, there's a map of all the gates.
Roger, thank you. What was the website called?
Trying to get a word in here in between their conversation. Atlanta Tower, UPS 116 heavy, we're with you. Inbound ILS 26 right.
UPS 116 heavy, Atlanta Tower, runway 26 right, clear to land.
Go land 26 right, UPS 116 heavy. Alright, gear down. Doesn't take long for this airplane to get the gear down. It comes down pretty quick. And fuel override on that other wing. Yep. And checklist is almost there. Go ahead and do 30 on the flats, please.
Delta 1024, contact departure.
Our departure for Delta 1024, see ya.
And normal on that one. Alright. Now
Delta 194 heavy, RNAV the football, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff.
And now we're just like everybody else.
Clear takeoff runway T7 right, Delta 194, thank you.
The 194, just confirm RNAV to football.
Sorry, second to 194?
RNAV to football, it should be your first FMS waypoint.
161. Alright. Did I do that right? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, FM, RNAV to football, Delta 184, clear takeoff runway T7 right.
I will say nobody does better than Atlanta if you're northbound.
UPS 116 heavy for planning purposes. Are you parking at North Cargo?
Affirmative, UPS 116 heavy. There you go. I want to give you taxi instructions and all that fun stuff, which is why I've got the airport up on my display. Weather radar coming off. We don't need it anymore because if you leave the weather radar on, what happens is it paints. It paints over the airport diagram on the nav display. How long we been in the air? 58 minutes? Okay, a little longer than I thought. Alright, it's not going to do auto land for reasons. Alright, let's just find the glide path. Alright, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the autopilot right now. Oops. But we are going to keep the auto throttles in. They'll automatically begin to, yeah. We're looking just fine. Countering the little right there. Come on. Floating way too much here. It has never ever done that with me
UPS
before.
116 Heavy, welcome to Atlanta. Right when able, ramp the Alpha.
Roger, ram via Alpha, UPS 116 Heavy.
National Aircraft Atlanta, I'll be right back.
It has never done that to me before. It just got floating. That is an improper simulation of riding ground effect. I've never had that happen to me before. Never, not once. Alright, let's zoom in on the see if flaps are going to be coming in right. See if left up, please. And let's go ahead and
National Aircraft Atlanta is back. Level 194, contact departure.
Departure Delta 194, thank you, bye-bye.
American 2723. Let's see here. Alright, I have the snappy runway 26 or left, clear for takeoff. Corrections, American 2723, RNAV to MPass, runway 26, left, clear for takeoff.
Roger, I'm out to MPass, clear for takeoff.
Alright, let's get rid of the lights. And lights off. Strobes off. Terrain turn-offs are not required. Let's look at those breakdowns real quick, like I said we would. 1.5, that's not bad. Alright. Yeah, again, why I did
Little
that,
194
I
Heavy,
have no
contact
idea.
departure.
Turn off light directors.
Actually, you already did.
Bad checklist. And that one slowed down all of a sudden. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn on the APU real quick. It doesn't take long for the 74 to spool up the APU. It's maybe 55 seconds or so. Well, there you go. Welcome to Atlanta. We're passing over to North Cargo. Alright. Let's take a look at what she looks like outside here. Not many people here. Like I said, it's not a busy night, which is a little interesting. You should see this place when it's busy. It's just really wild. For some reason, she doesn't want to stay center line here. North Cargo, the Alpha 5, I do believe. Alright, let's do this from outside. Let's do it right here, right now. Right about there. We get those inboard trucks to help us turn, like that. If you listen closely, you can hear the APU. And we're gonna go to the heavy stand, which is right over here.
Atlanta Tower, citation for Echo Romeo on the visual 26 right.
Citation for Echo Romeo, Atlanta Tower, runway 26 right, clear to land.
Clear land 26 right for Echo Romeo.
Alright, let's... Heavy parking spot is over here. Yeah. Haven't been to Atlanta in a good while, but this is where they want us to park. Right about there. Hard left on the tiller and line up very nicely. Alright, let's go ahead and bring those engines all the way idle. And all stop. There we go, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. APU is running. Parking brake set. Storm lights on so you can see everything. And accept the APU Gen 1. The reason you don't accept APU Gen 2 is because we want the nose and main door
2723, contact departure.
to work.
Departure 7722.
Alright, well.
Okay.
Atlanta, RUS 160 Heavies, that's Stan. Thank you for the ATC. Have a good one.
Good day.
Alright. Let's go right here, come here real quick, and then we'll give a party message to you. APU is on Gen 1, very good. And turn off 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, well there we are. And there we are. Alright, well everybody, thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Hope you learned something, and hope you enjoyed it as well. That is what, those are the primary reasons why we exist as a channel. Look forward to any comments you have. Again, I'll be putting the link to the Patreon account in the comments below, and I'll also be putting the link, as I said, to the this virtual airline in case you're wanting to fly a freighter instead of a passenger aircraft. And you'll be able to know and begin to understand what it's like to look at a copy of a real world release with your name on it. And again, this is all for entertainment purposes only, but it's very, very unique in that they give you your own release, which gives you all the info, all the operating data you need. They keep track of where you are. I mean, they're very, very good. They're very, very thorough. And they have their own Discord channel, you name it, they've got it. And I've been helping people out online in this type of venue as a thing for fun for 20 years now. I've been helping people out. So anyway, you'll know what that really means if you go over and join the Patreon account. But anyway, I hope you have fun. I hope that you enjoyed listening to the VAT to air traffic control for the first time on this channel. Again, I will utilize ATC when MSFS 2024 once the update fixes all of the problems that it does have, and then we'll begin to utilize VATSIM over there as well. But smash that subscribe button, click the thumbs up button if you would, so that we can continue to bring you better and better content, and so we can know what you really want to see. There's that American A321 landing behind us there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and again, give us a like and subscribe, and if you really want to get involved, you can head over to the Patreon account. All information in the comments below. And we'll see you very soon. And until then, flight safe.